Today, we're in the Otways in Victoria to visit Paul and Wendy Troughton on their dairy farm. They produce incredible milk. We're going to see how they do it, meet their cows, and even do a little bit of cooking. Paul, what a beautiful day here in the Otways where you produce some incredible milk. What makes the Otways so special for producing milk and dairy?
Oh, I think just the ability to get rainfall most of the year.
Yep.
Summers dry out, but rainfall's probably the key to it. Grass likes rain, and cows like eating grass. So
I mean, it's pretty green, this paddock too, so
I think
these girls are pretty happy.
The whole farm's looking pretty good.
So good grass, happy cows, makes delicious milk.
That's, you hit the nail on the head there.
How did you get into dairy farming?
As far as I know, I know I'm third generation dairy farmer, but probably going back further.
Yeah, so there's milk in the blood.
Yeah, there is. yeah. My grandfather was an Irishman who came out here, and we actually came here and then on to New Zealand. So I milked quite a few cows over there with Wendy. And
yeah, you've done dairy a bit of everywhere.
Yeah, well, between the two countries anyway. But no, we like living here. It's great proximity to everything and to the markets, probably as a result of that. So that enables us to supply into the fresh milk market.
Dairy farming, not the easiest job. Lots of hard work. What does a usual day for you look like?
When that alarm clock goes off at 4, you know you got 4 a.m. start. Look,
well done.
I do set it for 4, but then I get up and have a cup of tea, and I might glance at the weather and have a cup of tea. I make sure if Wendy and I are milking together, I take her a cup of tea.
Yeah. Get
her set up for the day. That helps. And then out getting the cows in by about 4:30.
Yep.
Cups on at the dairy by 5.
Yep.
And then, milking and whatever else we've got going on then, home by about 8:30 to usually a big breakfast, which these days I don't need so much.
And then you do it all again in the afternoon?
And then in the afternoon again,
So you always milk the girls twice a day?
We do, yeah. But it varies depending on how many cows we've got calving and things at the time. So we can get down to about 200.
Yep.
And that's relatively cruisy.
It's a lot of work.
A lot of work, yeah.
But it does produce something very delicious. I mean, milk.
Well, it's a staple, and we've been lucky with COVID, with a lockdown, that we were able to keep producing. We have to keep producing, I guess, too, but we're considered essential, and I think we are. It's one of the staple foods, isn't it, milk?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a base of so many things, so many delicious dishes that I love to cook.
Looking forward to seeing some of those later.
Cheese, cream. Well, absolutely. I think we should have a bit more of a look around, and then maybe I can cook something out for you using your milk.
Yeah, no, that sounds really good.
Amazing. Paul, we've had the most amazing morning exploring this beautiful dairy farm. I think it's now time that I cook with some of the beautiful milk that you've produced.
Looking forward to trying some.
Do you like polenta? Have you had much polenta in the past?
Look, I haven't had a lot of it, so I really am looking forward to trying it.
It's one of those ingredients that some people turn their nose up at. If it's done badly, it can be really bad. But I find if you cook it with lots of really good milk and add a couple of other flavouring ingredients, it really comes up lovely. And if you don't make it too thick, it doesn't become stodgy and too overpowering. So I've got some of your milk here, just warming up.
Yep.
Can add a little bit more. So I'm going to grab the milk. We'll go probably about another quarter of a bottle. I like using the full cream milk because it's got loads of flavour in it.
Yep.
And then I'm going to add a few things into this to help flavour it. First of all, I'm going to add in just some aromats. So I've got some bay leaves here, just some dried ones. If you've got fresh ones, fresh can go in as well.
Yep.
I've got a couple of garlic cloves and a microplane here, so a really fine grater.
Excellent.
What I want to do is grate these in, and as they warm up, they're going to almost melt into the milk because they're so fine. And it's just going to add a really nice garlicky flavour to the base of our polenta. So grate those in, give that a tap, and then on the same grater, I've just got some nutmeg.
It's beautiful.
Nutmeg with creamy things just goes so well. And this polenta is going to end up really nice and creamy because we're cooking it in milk rather than stock or water. And then, because butter makes it better, do you want to grab me that butter?
Yep, and some more of that good
We're
butter.
going to go in with some butter as well, just to help flavour up. Oh. Try and keep the milk in the pot. Just to flavour up that polenta. Now, as soon as the butter's melted, we can start scattering our polenta. Now I've got instant polenta here, so it cooks really quickly. Now all polenta is corn, just dried, and then crushed into nice, fine powder like so. And when that cooks, it rehydrates and gets a really nice silky texture. So to cook it, we've got our milk.
Butter's melted now.
Yeah, butter's melted. All those ingredients are gonna start flavouring that milk. And I just want to add like a simmer. You don't want to boil it because it'll start to split. And then I just scatter the polenta in and sort of whisk it into the milk, just like so. And you want to add about a cup of your polenta to 4 or 5 cups.
And we'll see that thicken.
That'll thicken up, yeah. We'll just go a tiny bit more in there, just like so. What's great about the instant polenta is that it cooks really quickly and it hydrates super fast.
Really quickly.
This one should cook in,
wow,
3 to 4 minutes.
Impressive.
Well, what you're looking for is a nice, smooth, creamy consistency. So we can add in some cheese because polenta loves cheese. So that Parmesan, do you want to pass that over here?
Yep.
And I'll also add a bit of butter at this stage too. So good hit of Parmesan at this stage. And we've obviously got a nice heat in our polenta that will just melt that in. And then just to finish it off, a little bit more butter. And then I'm just going to stir that cheese and butter through my polenta. And you can see here, it just falls off the spoon. That's the consistency I'm going for.
You're not going to need much more from there, I guess.
No. The only thing we need now is just a pinch of salt to season it and balance it all out.
Yeah.
And that's our polenta done. Just that extra step of flavouring your delicious milk with those aromats really lift the dish, and using milk as the base rather than water or stock, for me, is what makes polenta really nice. Good. Now, to keep it warm, lid on. Now, we're going to get our fry pan on because we're going to make a really quick sauteed kale to go with that really creamy polenta. You're in charge of the kale. So,
kale for me.
All I'm going to get you to do is just strip the leaves from the stalks, just like so. And just keep the leaves, and the stalks we can feed to the cattle.
I love them.
Now, pan's hot, so can you pass me to that extra virgin olive oil? Yep. It's going to be the base for our braise. And we're going to flavour this, much like we flavoured the milk in the base of the polenta, with a couple of things. So I've got some onion here, just to start off the braise. And then I've also got some really thinly sliced garlic. You want that nice thinly sliced garlic to help spread its flavour through that oil. And a little pinch of salt at this stage too. That just helps to draw out the flavours from the onion and the garlic into the oil that we're going to braise our kale in.
Yep.
And now I've got some chilli flakes. You like chilli?
I do.
I love chilli, so a bit of chilli. That'll go well as well with that really nice creamy flavour we've got in our polenta. So this is a really simple one that you can cook for Wendy that shows off the lovely milk that you produce here.
Coming together well there.
And as you see, all you want to do here is just stain that oil with the chilli so it goes a little bit golden, and you want to start to really smell the onion and the garlic. The garlic will start to go a little bit brown around the edges, and that's when we're ready to add in our kale. Now, finish it off by just sautéing this
giving that a
kale.
Flash fry.
It looks like a lot, but kale, much like spinach and other leafy greens, will really cook down. Yeah. So what we're going to do is add it into the pan now and kind of stir it around to mix it in and get that oil that we've flavoured all over the kale, so it'll fry really quickly.
Yeah, it's crisping up nice.
So you can see our kale cooking down now and starting to fry. We'll just give it a little toss or a mix through to help it fully coat in that oil. And you want the onion, the garlic and the chilli to mix in with the kale. Now this is looking really good. I'm going to add a little bit of stock. Can you grab that veg stock for me? And we're going to add a splash of this, and just, when I say splash, a couple of tablespoons, maybe a quarter of a cup, just like so. And this is going to help it just finish cooking down. And all I'll do now is just cook this until the liquid's disappeared, and that'll be when I know that kale's ready to go. So I'll quickly hit it with some pepper as well. I don't always add pepper and chilli, but I think with kale it really works. One last little toss together. And you can see now all that liquid's cooked off. So we know our kale's ready to serve. Paul, to plate this up, can you pass me one of the bowls you've got there? I'll bring our polenta back. We're going to do a nice big spoon of polenta on the base of our bowl. In fact, a couple of spoons. At this stage, you want to make sure you get out any of those bay leaves that we've added in, just in case, but I've got rid of them all. And then I like just a little swish of polenta like so. So we've got a little spot to put in our braised kale. And now we can add in our sauteed kale in the centre. We've made that little dent in our polenta, in the centre of the polenta. And then
Good work.
you want a good amount of your kale, like so. And just to garnish it, I've got a couple of things. Just some toasted pine nuts for some texture and some crunch. And a really fine little grating of extra parmesan, just a little bit, just to finish. And I really like it. A little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. It adds a lovely pepperiness and fattiness to the dish. And there you have a foolproof way to cook polenta, especially if you have milk as good as you produce here on the farm. That is my creamy polenta with that really quickly sauteed kale on top.
Great, looking forward to trying it.